Welcome to the Hockey Writers Blackhawks Banter, a weekly show with our top Chicago Blackhawks writing crew, bringing you the latest news, rumors, trades, player grades, game results, and much more. From training camp to the playoffs, from Chelsea Dagger to the Madhouse on Madison, our team covers everything that happens with the Hawks. So get comfortable, grab a beverage. It's time for some Blackhawks Banter. Blackhawks Banter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blackhawks Banter presented by the Hockey Writers. My name is Brooke Laferno, and I'm here with our Blackhawks team, Sean Filippelli and Gail Kowchuk. Greg Boyson, who is our usual host on this show, unfortunately has a bout of food poisoning, so he couldn't be here. We're really sad about that, but we're giving him our well wishes, and we hope he's back better than ever next week. So please, guys, tweet him your well wishes. But today is episode 63, which is the Carl Dahlstrom episode. I don't know if you guys remember who that is. He was a defenseman here from 2017 to 2019, and now he's with the Maple Leafs, I just saw. So it's kind of nice to plug in some old memories, I guess. So good for him. So we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on, so let's just get right to it. So we have to talk about our week in review. There's a lot of things going on this week, a lot of big moments, a lot of weird stuff. So let's start with Gail. Gail, you wanted to talk about the line deployment with Jonathan Toews out. Unfortunately, he's out on concussion protocol. So what you got for us, Gail?
Yeah, I'd like to start off with, they did report that Toews has actually been around Fifth Third Arena for the last couple of days. So that's really good news. They say he's in good spirits. And hopefully this is just a minor setback for Toews, because obviously everybody's really concerned when they hear this with his health history, history and everything. So, but we do have to talk about backfilling him while he's out, because who knows how long he will be out. Now, he is the second line center currently right now. So in the Avalanche game last Friday, when the first game he was out, they actually, no surprise here, they put Dach in that spot, Kirby Dach, in between DeBrincat and Kurashev. And let's face it, I don't know, are we all too confident in Dach here? He won 6 faceoffs, lost another 9. Whereas on the third line, Sam Lafferty played third line center. He won 7 of 10 of his draws. And he actually, the 3 games before, was deployed on the second line. It was DeBrincat, Toews, and Lafferty. Doesn't seem like he'd be the kind of guy where you would put him there, but he actually did pretty well. Lost in Strome's hat trick, actually, that was this past week. Lafferty scored his first goal. He was actually assisted by Strome. It's kind of ironic. But he seems to be more like a bottom 6 guy, but he's working on that second line. He had some extra jam and some speed. His speed is touted. And I was not surprised that Sunday's practice, they actually did place him on that second line. So they have DeBrincat, Dach, and Lafferty. My thought process was, oh gosh, maybe you put him in at center, but this is essentially the same thing, right? Because he's probably going to take most of the draws. We know Dach really can't, and then Dach can handle things as well. So I like this line, and I'm looking forward to seeing if Lafferty can be effective on that line with Dach and DeBrincat.
I agree. Lafferty has been kind of a nice plug with Toews. Like you said, no one really expected it, but it's working out pretty well. So I'm excited to see how that goes too. Sean, you wanted to talk about missed opportunities with goaltending development, and I literally could not wait for this after they announced that Fleury was starting again against Vancouver, and he's basically started the whole month of January. So give it to us. What you got?
Well, listen, with Greg not able to join us tonight, I think collectively we'll do our part to rant and rave on his behalf, and this will be my start. I said this last episode, and we've probably all said it for a few now. This team is just continuing to screw up whatever strategy they're calling it at this point. They called it a rebuild last year. They restructured it in the offseason. That didn't go to plan. Neither of them went to plan. Now it seems like they're back to the drawing board, but they're still screwing it up. And I just don't know how or why they continue to go about it in this manner. Sure, they got Fleury in for the reasons, for obvious reasons. They want to try to contend. Well, they're not. They're not going to contend. They won't be in the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. Fleury's likely going to get traded. At the best, he'll get traded. At the worst, he'll walk in the offseason. He's not coming back. Everyone knows Fleury's value. Stop playing him. Stop overworking him. Stop putting him in the net at this point in the season when you have other players that need this opportunity to develop. You had Soderblom up. You didn't give him any starts this last run. Now Delia is here. Let him get back in the net. We just spoke about this. He needs a chance to redeem himself. Continuing to give Fleury these starts is wasted opportunities for this entire franchise. They do not have a lot of goaltending depth. So for two main reasons. A, let the guys they have develop and give them a chance to showcase what they can do at this level of play. And B, if they're going to move any of them, Delia, for example, let him show what he can do so other teams are attracted to actually trying to acquire him. And the Blackhawks are doing neither. They're screwing this up royally, as they have been all season, and as it seems has become their pattern, and they need to fix it. They need to let Fleury sit. They need to give him some rest. They need to let the players that are there to develop do exactly that. Stop playing Fleury. Let these other guys get a chance every now and then.
Yes. Everything about that. Yes. Love it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yes. I mean, like I said, we've talked about this so much, and it's not a knock on Fleury at all. It's what we want people to know. It's not about Fleury. It's just more about the fact that the Hawks had easier opponents with Detroit. And I mean, they have Vancouver tonight and stuff, which is a little That's like the perfect time to plug those people in. Give Fleury a rest. The Blackhawks have to see what they have, and it's just not going the right way. And it feels like going into the offseason, they don't know what to do with this. So it is frustrating for sure. Love Fleury, but he deserves a night off every once in a while, right?
Absolutely.
So, yes. And I wanted to kind of talk about Kirby Dach again. I probably should have had Gail go second because that would be a good kind of segue into that because she mentioned Dach. But he was talking this week to the media, and I thought his comments were a little bit interesting. I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought. So for the viewers that don't know what I'm talking about, he had talked to Ben Pope of the Chicago Sun-Times, and he was saying that he feels more comfortable being a checking shutdown role, and that he's starting to have good games after deleting his social media that he said was having a negative effect on him. And he went on to say something that each player on this team has been doing is trying to find their own role. If that's going to be my role, meaning the checking shutdown role, I'm going to play it like that. But I'd like to score and get points because that's all everyone on social media thinks the game of hockey is about. So I found this a little odd because I think we've all talked about that. We're a little kind of disappointed with how Dach's year has gone, and he's not progressing like we thought he would. And after he said the checking shutdown role, I don't know about that, guys. That kind of bothers me a little bit. I mean, if he's good in that role, fine, but you're third overall pick. That's not what you were picked to do. You're not picked to be a Ryan Carpenter or a Jujhar Khaira. That's just not working. I don't really like that. And if he wants to progress that way, then I'm not about that. That's just kind of feels like a waste of talent, I guess, in that spot, because I know Kirby has more to show than just a checking shutdown role. So I hope the team's not pushing him to be that role. So I think that's a little interesting to me. And yeah, when he said all everyone on social media thinks the game is about scoring and getting points. Well, like I said, if you're a third overall pick, it is about that, to be honest with you. There are different parts of the game that you can contribute to, absolutely. But like I said, to me, those comments just seemed a little weird to me. It just feels like at this point, it seems like he kind of knows he's not fitting like he should be, and it's just not progressing. And I feel bad about that. But yeah, like I said, it's a little odd to me. I'm hoping that doesn't stay that way, the checking shutdown thing, because I don't think any of us want him to stay in that role. We want to see goal scoring. We want to see winning faceoffs. We want to see more. So we'll see, but yeah, don't really like it so much. Speaking of that, so because of that, we're going to look forward to February. A bunch of February bliss is what we talked about in our preview post this week. Greg wanted us to have a little fun with this because we know we can go a billion different ways about what we're looking forward to in February. So, Sean, I'm going to start with you. What are you looking forward to from the Blackhawks in February? You said you wanted to do the All-Star debut.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, fans are often divided, if not mostly not in favor of the All-Star game, and everyone is quite a skeptic and quite jaded when it comes to that event, and that's fine, to each their own. But me personally, as a fan of the game, I take it for what it's worth. I know what to expect, and I just enjoy it for what it is, and that's just how I choose to go about it. With that said, the fact that we now get to see Alex DeBrincat in his first ever NHL All-Star game should be very exciting to Blackhawk fans. First and foremost, we don't have a lot to be excited about these days, so why not grasp what we can? But, you know, on the other hand, here's a guy in his fifth year in the league, and we've all seen in him and seen what he can do from the start. Sure, he's had slumps along the way, but the reality is this kid's been an all-star the entire time. So the fact that his trajectory has brought him to the actual game, to the actual event, and he's there among the league's best, where he should be, is perfect. It's perfect for him, for his status, for this fan base, for this franchise. And it ties nicely into the fact that, ironically, this is Patrick Kane's first time since, I believe, 2008 that he's not at the event, and DeBrincat is. if that's not a perfect, illustration of the fact that DeBrincat truly is becoming, and we're witnessing live that he's becoming the new face of this franchise and taking over Patrick Kane's spot, I don't know what else is. Obviously, everyone's attention should be on this kid as Blackhawks fans. It is from our perspective, but I still feel like even the goal scoring attention he's getting for what he's done in recent seasons, he's still not getting the league-wide praise that he should be. Getting to go to the All-Star game is going to force people to recognize who he is, what he can do, and how skilled he truly is. So this is going to be great for him, for his career, for the franchise, and just to get a little bit more excitement back on our side of things as Blackhawks fans. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do at the game and just having fun with it, because he deserves that.
Yes, that will be fun, especially kind of to see more in depth his skills, especially on that kind of stage will be really fun, I think. Gail, you wanted to talk about that you're excited for competitive Blackhawks hockey. So what you got, girl?
Yes, we have February here, and originally it wasn't supposed to have a whole lot of games, but rescheduling, there's some games. And the Blackhawks might not be winning a whole lot of games, but they've actually also had a really tough stretch recently, playing Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild, two really good teams. And so for the most part, I think that they've come to compete for these games, and I believe that this team is starting to come together as a group and believe in themselves. So with that said, I am looking forward to February and seeing if they can act on that, to continue this trend. 9 contests, and 5 of them are Central Division foes. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, I know there's not really the playoff picture anymore, but you always get a little bit more excited when you play your Central Division foe. Okay, so they play the Wild again. Oh my gosh, could they actually beat the Wild? They've lost to them twice. Who else did they play? They played the St. Louis Blues. Brandon Saad, get to see him again. Fiery competition that's always been. Winnipeg Jets and Dallas Stars. So I think they've lost to both of them this season. So it'd be great to see if they could kind of even the score. Moving on, Florida Panthers, who sit at top of the Atlantic Division right now. And of course, Joe Quenneville's not there anymore. It'd be kind of exciting to play your old coach. But come on, let's face it, that's still something to get excited about. And then finally, they play the New Jersey Devils and the Columbus Blue Jackets, both of which are winnable games against teams that are also not faring so well. So like I said, I guess I'm just I'm looking forward to seeing them hopefully pull it together and play some competitive hockey this month. That's my goal for them.
Yes, I love it, because I know that people might think it's February and at this point they're out of a playoff race, so it's probably going to be a bunch of blah, but you're still in the NHL, you're still watching the NHL, and people still have a lot to play for, whether it's jobs or even if they want their future here, they have to play for it, they have to earn it. So I think we'll still see a lot of some good skill, especially from players like Lafferty or maybe even Dach or maybe even Hagel continue to go upward. So we'll see, but I do think it'll be a fun month of hockey too. I think they have a lot more to show and a lot more to prove. I wanted to talk about the special teams, and I'm kind of laughing because I feel like our viewers, if you guys know this show, if you've been watching our show, my big thing is either special teams or face-offs. That's what I talk about. But you know what? I'm going to talk about it again because it's a problem. And maybe February will be the month of bliss that we have been waiting for. I think the power play has looked a little more cohesive as of late. Maybe they're not always scoring, but it has looked a little better. Against Detroit was amazing. I thought they actually did pretty well against Colorado too. They had some good looks, even though they didn't score. But like I said, it's looking more cohesive. And when you start to look like that, eventually something's got to give. So I hope that means that they're kind of figuring out their groove there and maybe something can work there, especially with new kind of looks, with Eric Gustafson and Seth Jones. I know that's kind of been kind of a ring around the rosy type of thing. No one really knows who's there, but you know what? Like I said, I kind of like what I've been seeing lately. Penalty kill is still a problem, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement there. I like the look of Lafferty on the penalty kill a lot, actually. That adds a new level of aggressiveness that I really like. So you know what? Maybe they'll turn a corner there. I'm hoping that February, like I said, is a good month for special teams, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So let's put that out into the universe.
Yes.
Let's manifest it. But now it's time for our mid-show reminders. You are watching Blackhawks Banter presented by the Hockey Writers. And also, this is presented by our Olympic coverage as we cover the world's chase for the gold medal. USA, go USA. I know you guys. But our crew at the Hockey Writers is going to give you content from the whole tournament. We got player analysis, game recaps. I am actually joining the team for the women's tournament, so you guys will get to see some coverage from me about the USA-Canada rivalry. So yes, if you guys want some more hockey coverage for the Olympics, please go to thehockeywriters.com. We have so much more to give, and we're so excited to show that to you. Also, please be sure to follow us all on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss Blackhawks Banter. And please follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter usernames are right here. We live tweet every game. We love hearing from you guys. We love tweeting with you guys. So please follow all of us. We love you guys. Okay, let's get right back into it. So every week we do our spotlights, our recognitions. We love it. So Gail, you wanted to talk about Strome as our player recognition of the week. So what do you want to tell us? I'm excited.
Here we go. We're talking about Strome again. Okay, but he's been the subject of trade talks for a few seasons now, rightfully so. He's struggled. He hasn't been able to really find his fit with this team. But his recent play has made me rethink this a little bit. I'm not sure about this trade thing. I actually recently just wrote an article, if you want to check it out, that I really feel that Strome might be better off, and the Blackhawks, if he stayed put. So let me just give you some bullet points on that. First off, head coach Jeremy Colleton and now coach Derek King have really focused on Strome's defensive deficiencies, so much so that they put him on the bottom lines to address this. They've taken him off center, put him on wing. They've made him a healthy scratch. And they favor other people that are maybe stronger in this area, but they might not be stronger on the offensive end of things. So I feel like Strome kind of got the shaft there. Finally, he got a chance to prove himself. He's been deployed on the top line with Brandon Hagel and Patrick Kane for the last 7 games now. He's also been in the top power play unit for even longer than that. Past 9 games, he's been on quite the tear, as we all know for watching. 4 goals, 7 assists, the hat trick in the 4-point game that he had against the Red Wings. Gosh, we love those Red Wings, don't we? He's been phenomenal on the faceoff dot, 62% in those last 9 games. For the season, 55.7%. And that's better than his 47% for the rest of his career. So he's really found his groove in this department. And that's really important when you're top center. So, and we don't have a whole lot of other people winning the faceoff either. So that leads me to center depth. Okay. Who else is there? Who else is there at center that the Blackhawks can rely on? You've obviously got Jonathan Toews, who, by the way, his future's uncertain. We're not really sure what's going on. He's in concussion protocol now. We don't know. He's got that contract looming coming up next year. It's a little scary to just rely on Toews. We just talked about Kirby Dach. We're disappointed here. We know that his weaknesses is he's not winning faceoffs, that he can't finish. So I don't know if we can really rely on him. I was going to mention earlier when you brought this up about Dach, maybe he's better off on wing. Maybe they should put him on wing and just forget about this whole center thing. I don't know. It might be an option. Another person, Lucas Reichel, but he was drafted a top prospect, but he was drafted as a winger. He's an unknown commodity. After that, you just don't have a whole lot of skill there. So I just feel like that might be a good argument for Strome staying around. And then you also get to the point where, okay, what are you going to get in return for him if you do trade him? Sources say 3rd round draft pick, which, 3rd round draft pick, that's not much. And you don't know what you're getting with that. You know what you're getting with Strome. $3.6 million is his qualifying offer that basically he has to get that or more. Some people might say, okay, gosh, that's just too much money, too expensive. But I really do believe Dach's made it really clear that he likes it in Chicago. He loves playing with his friend Alex DeBrincat. He's not going to complain about playing with Kane. He's established himself here 4 seasons. So with the Blackhawks, I think he'll take a hometown discount. I think that he might say, okay, $3.6 million for the next year or two, and I'll prove myself as a core member of this new Blackhawks. And then in the meantime, Chicago is a win of the organization as well, because they could round out their roster basically and use Strome as kind of an insurance policy moving forward until they do get more depth. So I just think that maybe it's better off if he stays.
Yes. I think me and Sean probably have been more iffy on Strome since he's been here, but he has had a great, awesome week, and it's been hard to ignore. And you know what? I'm so happy for him because this is what the Blackhawks have been needing from him. This is exactly what they have needed. And you know what? I'm glad to see him show it. I don't know if his future is here, even though he has a lot of good reasons to be the future here, but we'll see what the management thinks about that. But you know what? Either way, I'm glad to see him regain his footing because it was kind of sad to see him go downhill like that, going from a great year to a bad year, and then it started out bad. So you know what? Good for him. I'm actually really happy for him, and I hope he keeps it up. And Sean, you wanted to talk about Hagel for your player recognition. So what you got?
Yeah, right before I get to that, I'll say, speaking of Strome, I mean, he deserves the credit. So I think across the board, we should all give him that credit. To that point, Brooke, that you said, I just don't see him being a fit here moving forward. But the fact that he's getting these points now, A, works for the Blackhawks trade value, and B, works for me because I just picked him up with fantasy hockey for tonight's game. So I hope he maintains that momentum. Speaking of Hagel, though, how do you not love this guy? I watch every game I watch. I'm just watching. He just gets you off your seat. He gets you engaged. He gets you excited. He's everything that a Blackhawk player should be. He has the grit, he has the drive, he has the passion. He wants to win. You see it in his eyes, see it in his face. He's just out there to play. A lot of people compare Hagel to Andrew Shaw, and frankly, I don't think that's fair. I know Shaw is a more decorated athlete. Hagel's better. He's already proven that he's better. He's going to be more important for this franchise. He will prove that in the years to come, and they should hang on to him in every capacity that they can. And the fact that he's only a cap at of $1.5 million for the coming years is remarkable. The fact that they were able to lock him in for that is incredible for this team and for their rebuild. What he's done in recent weeks, and we'll talk last week alone in the last few, to cap off January here, he's being relied on for about 20 minutes a night, playing on the power play as well. He's got a point per game pace through his last 5 games, and you just see that he's involved in every major play. He is just the spark plug that this team needs, and even if they're not going to go anywhere this year, he's going to be the fuel that keeps that fire going. So when they do get up to speed and everyone catches up to his passion and his will, they're going to all be better for it. So the fact that he still gets out there and plays and gives it his all deserves our kudos game in and game out. So I know we've touched on him before and we've talked about him week in and week out, but I think we continually should. And when I was watching last week, I just knew that he was the guy I wanted to talk about because, like I said, anytime I see him on the ice, I'm happy. I know he's going to get out there. He's going to give it his all. He's going to play with his heart. And that's what we need to see. So to Gail's point about development and seeing them have a competitive February, yeah, and we're going to see a lot of that because of Hagel. So kudos to him.
Yes, I agree. When you're a rebuilding team or a team that's not a playoff team, you want to see players that care. You want to see players that play hard, show they want to be here, even in the really kind of sucky circumstances. And you know what? He has shown that he wants to be here. He wants to be a Blackhawk. And I think even Andrew Shaw said himself that he thinks Hagel is more skilled than he was. So he's a good sport for that. But I totally agree. He's the great energy spark plug that the team needs even when they're down. So we love to watch him play. So much fun. I think we all say that a lot.
And he's producing, right? Sorry to interrupt, but I mean, he's already matched his point totals from the entirety of last season. In 52 games last season, he got 24 points. He already has 24 and 38. So he's producing as well, which is a bonus.
Right. I think he's third on the team in scoring or something like that, which is amazing. Yeah. The player I wanted to talk about was Kane, because usually we talk a lot about Fleury or DeBrincat, and we usually did talk about Kane a lot, but he was kind of in an area this past few weeks where he wasn't really showing up, not showing up like in a bad way, like just showing up where he just hasn't scored. And I think he would tell you that too. It's just not putting the puck in the net. And that's really sad because he's still setting everyone else up. But at this point, it just seems like he's kind of just going through the motions. I don't know what's going on there, but finally against Colorado, he finally looked like himself. That was probably one of the best games I've seen from him in the last couple months, where he was just full on Kane, setting people up, setting himself up, just vintage Kane. That's what the team needs. And I wanted to give him a shout out for that. Cause like I said, I don't know if he's going through the motions because the team is where they're at, and he's kind of got a bunch of different teammates and a lot of things are going on, but it's been hard not to give him the recognition because he hasn't done a lot this season in the way that he would probably want as well as far as scoring. So I'm really happy to see him get those 2 goals. That was a huge spark that the team needs. And I really hope that will kind of generate him to score more. That's just what he needed. He needed to get out of that rut, and he showed it big time. So we love you, Patty Kane. Keep going, honey. We're all behind you. So now we have our last round, the shootout round, our favorite round, where we just have quick questions, quick answers. So the first shootout round, it says the Blackhawks face Vancouver tonight, or if you're watching, the game will have ended and it will be tomorrow on Tuesday. And Minnesota on Wednesday, which are the final two games before the All-Star break. How many points will the Hawks get in these two games, Sean?
They will get 2 because they're going to beat Vancouver this evening.
Gail?
I'm getting positive. They're gonna beat Minnesota as well. 4 points.
Oh, I have to stick with my lucky number 3. I keep saying it, but it was right once. So you know what? I'm going to keep it. I think 2 points against Vancouver and maybe 1 against Minnesota. We'll see.
Probably
Second round of the shootout. Dylan Strome led the Hawks in points this past week with 3 goals, 3 assists, and 6 points. Will he continue to lead the team in points against Vancouver and Minnesota? Gail?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to go with my old standby DeBrincat.
Sean?
Yeah, agreed. Strome will maintain the momentum, but DeBrincat's going to take over and put on a show on his way to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. I think Strome will contribute, but I don't know if he'll lead. You know, and I'm going to stick with Patty Kane. I just said it, so put that out in the universe. Manifest it. Third round, with Toews out of the lineup, who do you want to see as a second line center? Sean?
Given the change in strategy and development, keep Dach there. Throw him to the fire. Make him work for it.
Ooh, Gail?
I already set it up above. I kind of gave away my answer. I would go with Sam Lafferty.
You know what? I kind of agree with Sean here. I like Sam Lafferty in that role, but you drafted him to be that center. So you know what? He can't learn unless he sticks there. So put it out there. Hopefully he figures it out at some point. But I like Lafferty there a lot too. Sorry, that was not a short answer. I'm rambling. Fourth round of the shootout. Wyatt Kalynuk was promoted to the active roster this week. Should he play against Vancouver or Minnesota? Gail?
Development. Yes, of course he should play, and put him on the power play too.
Ooh, Sean?
Yeah, both games. Let the kids play. Let's go.
Yes, I agree. I think he should play in both. I'm not really impressed overall with the defense. There's a few that I like, but still not a whole. And I like the way Kalynuk plays. I don't think he's done anything that warrants to keep him out. So,
Gustafson out.
Yeah, exactly. Gustafson out. Keep going. Yeah, got better options. Finally, the fifth and final round of the shootout. Patrick Kane, I keep talking about him. Good Lord. How many times can you say Patrick Kane in the span of like 2 minutes? Patrick Kane scored 2 goals against Colorado. Does he keep it up against Minnesota and Vancouver? Does he keep the goal streak alive, Sean?
Yeah, we've seen what Patrick Kane does when he gets on fire, and that fire will continue to stay ignited this week.
Yes. Gail?
I'm not sure about goals the next 2 games, but definitely he's going to have points in both.
Yeah. I think he's actually done pretty well against Vancouver. So I will say 1 goal in the 2 games. Not sure where, but maybe somewhere in there. So that will conclude our Blackhawks banter. But first, before we kind of end the show, we want to tell our viewers that Sean will be taking a brief hiatus from the show. He's got very exciting endeavors going on in his personal life, and we're so happy for him. And kind of just want to give Sean the floor really quick. Sean, what do you got?
Listen, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you to both of you, Gail, Brooke, and Greg. Sorry you couldn't be here with us. It's been a great run. We've been doing this show for over a year now, and it's been a lot of fun. Every week I look forward to it, seeing all of you folks, and getting to chat Blackhawks, and all of you who are listening, watching, and engaging with us. You make this all worthwhile. You make it a lot of fun for us, and I'll certainly miss that. This was a tough decision, but as Brooke alluded to, there's a lot going on that needs a little bit more of my focus. So it makes a lot of sense for me to step away. Let those who can put the focus in and who are doing a great job continue to steer the ship for Blackhawk Banter, and they will continue to do a good job. So just because I won't be participating in the show doesn't mean I won't be watching and listening, because I will be, and you should be too. Thank you to all of you. Again, my fellow panelists, and all of the fans out there. Thank you so much. I'm still around. I'm still available. Let's still talk hockey. Let's still talk Blackhawks, and all of you should continue to watch Blackhawk Banter, because I certainly will be too.
We are going to miss you, and I think we're just going to have to give you a few shout outs, or just reach out to you with goaltender stuff, right? I'm going to have to read up on my goaltenders.
Well, I thought about it too, and I was like, hey, it doesn't mean I can't come on as a guest. So we'll see if there's any breaking news around that makes sense to get a goalie guy back on the show every now and then.
Yeah, I agree. But Yeah, we will miss you, Sean, and we love you. But like you said, we'll still be talking on Twitter. We still got Blackhawks content. He will still be here, guys. Just not on Blackhawks Banter, but he will still be here, and we're happy about that. So still here, part of the family. Just and like I said, we're so excited for you, Sean. We're your biggest fans here.
That means a lot, and likewise, thank you very much to all of you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So that will end Blackhawks Banter for tonight. Thank you to our viewers. Like Sean said, we do have a blast doing this every week, and we couldn't do this without you guys. You guys truly make it fun. We love interacting with you guys, tweeting with you guys, the comments you leave on our articles and our YouTube. We really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully Sean or Greg feels better next week, and we'll have a bit of our team back. So please, guys, stay safe. Join us next week. We still got a lot more to talk about. Please follow us on Twitter. We'll live tweet with you guys during the games, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much.